Truman was an unknown quantity, but it was assumed that American strategy overall would remain the same. There was one policy area, however, that might just change.
There are many battalions of combatant chemical troops ready with their special weapons to fire gas for retaliation when the Axis starts chemical warfare.
Under Roosevelt, it was Allied policy that these deadly weapons could only be used in retaliation. Now the policy of no first use might be reconsidered.
The Chemical Warfare Service is responsible for the research and development of new war gases.
As Washington struggled to find a way to end the war as quickly as possible, military planners had already been thinking what had been regarded as unthinkable: to strike against Japanese civilians using poisonous gas.
And chemical service troops. The Chemical Warfare Service.
The plan had first been drawn up in April 1944 by members of the U.S. Army's Chemical Warfare Service. It contained a list of 25 Japanese cities, their populations, and the quantities of poison gas that American bombers would drop.
The gas attacks amount to a gas attack on every principal city in Japan. And some of the estimates of casualties reached into the millions, 7, 8, 9 million.
The Huntsville Chemical Warfare Arsenal can manufacture more mustard gas in one day than was manufactured by us in all of World War I.
The mustard gas would be used in Tokyo because mustard gas adheres to wooden structures. And they also talked about having the gas attacks take place during daylight rather than night, because in daylight there would be more civilians afoot and it would instigate panic.
You're looking at 70,000 drums of mustard gas.
The idea of the gas attacks was not only to soften up Japan, but make it impossible for Japan to even put up a defense against an invasion.
The Chemical Warfare Service is headed by the Chief of CWS, Major General William N. Porter.
On June 9, 1945, the plan to use massive gas attacks on Japanese cities in advance of X-Day was submitted to Major General Porter. There is no direct evidence that this plan to unleash chemical weapons on population centers was approved by the Joint Chiefs of Staff. What is clear is that they were interested in a more limited application. The central figure was Army Chief of Staff General Marshall. He told Secretary of War Henry Stimson that chemical weapons were no less humane than phosphorus bombs and flamethrowers. And a few weeks later, he sent a memo on poison gas to Admiral King. Marshall believed chemical weapons might be needed to wipe out pockets of resistance in the event of an invasion.